Oh boy, I've been waiting for this one. This actually has Bretonia in it. And Bretonia is one of my favorite factions. I love their men-at-arms. I know they're kind of crappy, but I love the look. I love the big shield. I love the Volg or Halberd in one hand. I love that. So, let's just get into it. Let's see how Bretonia goes.
Sega.
Hello all and welcome to the quest battle Azhag's Ardama. As mentioned in Rally Point 30, I'm joined by Darren McNally.
Hello.
Who has played this battle previously, and we're going to be talking through it.
Isn't this
so
the guy
we can
who
properly illustrate
fucked up his
everything that's
dwarven
happening
line
in the game?
and
So we're going to let
actually
you
had
guys
his
listen
Iron
to the
Drakes
general
kill
speech.
his
We're going to
own
be quiet,
dudes?
and then we'll join you in the deployment phase.
Them poor orcs.
Those stupid, flouncy humies think they can trance all over our sacred ground. That burial mound is Mork's property, not some fishy-smelling lake eggs. Ruminant, stop whispering at me! I know! Come on, lads. We're gonna stamp these gits and send them running back to their pretty towers. I've had my visions from Mork himself. He reckons we do this, it's gonna sort my armour out real good, when I won't have to knock you all about. What's that? Yes, we'll go south afterwards. Let's go kill
Oh, the
some
crown is
knights.
whispering to him. Oh, that's
so we're
cool.
in the deployment phase. Darren, talk us through what you did.
Alright, so this is not the first time I had played it.
Very
I
tiny
decided to play a
deployment
little
phase,
bit more
but I think
defensive
I
this time
understand.
around, which worked really well. I put down my goblin archers toward the back on this little hill, and decided to flank them with the slightly heavier orc arrow boys, which you'll see in a second on the left. So these guys, they're not very heavily armoured, they are just archers, and playing defensive means that you deny the enemy the ability to be in range with their artillery. So it plays off really well. We're against 3 Bretonian armies here, 1 main one and 2 Bretonian expeditions
3
that
Bretonian
come in from the sides with some cavalry. So here's the orc arrow boys. They're decent melee combatants, which means that basically if they get flanked, they can kind of hold their own, they don't just break immediately.
I would say, generally speaking, for a greenskin army, is that goblins are faster but weaker, and the orcs are tougher but slower.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be that way. So here we got the orc boys. It's just kind of my solid core.
Yeah!
Yeah, pretty stinky, alright.
Whoa!
They're kind of my solid
I
front
love
line of
orcs,
infantry.
but
Not
I love
amazing
Bretonia
infantry,
more, but
pretty
orcs
good,
are,
and they can hold their
they
own. They've
call
got
to be.
120 in a unit, so a little bit more than most infantry units.
I
so
love
they're definitely able to
Azhag's
hold that. And I've just
speech. That was pretty
activated guard
good.
mode, which is an old favorite for a lot of Total War fans. And basically that means that if they are engaged in a unit, they won't chase that unit down if they win that engagement. They'll stay in place and kind of hold their ground no matter what. And I've done the same for the archers and turned off skirmish mode. So I'm really setting up for a defense here. Putting my cavalry on the flanks, the orc boar boys. These are shock cavalry. Very slow, but deliver quite a powerful punch in their charge bonus. So putting them on
They're
this little
laggy,
hill here gives
but
them
fine.
that extra modifier to their charge bonus, which means that they'll do more damage, basically.
It's worth noting that this is pretty early on in Azhag's campaign progression, so it's early tier units, so you won't really see any of the big monstrous creatures as you've seen previously with the greenskin army.
It's true, and we are on
What
a
are those
beta,
guys? Are
beta
those
build
black
at the
orcs?
moment, so you're
I
prone
can't
to
see
seeing
the
some
models, but I can
slight
see the
graphical
card.
glitches, and stats and things like that aren't final. It's still subject to balancing.
Wolf Riders.
There's Azhag on the Wyvern, so it's worth noting as well that it's quite unusual for a greenskin to have anything other than the Law of the Big and the Little War, but Azhag has the Crown of Sorcery, which gives him the Law of Death magic, and if you listen closely
Not
to the
death
general
metal.
speech, he's also a little mental as a result of wearing it. So the point of this quest battle is for him to regain, have his armour imbued
Regain
by the
his
shamans
orkiness.
and by Gork and Mork to be proper. And he's in the final quest of that chain.
Alright, so let's start the battle and see how we get on.
Oh, come on, I want to see
So
those
basically,
Bretonians.
there's
Show
3
me the
armies, as we mentioned
Bretonians.
before.
I want to see that men at
the
arms.
2 expeditionary forces are made up of just purely cavalry. So here's one of them here. I think they're mounted yeoman cavalry,
Yeoman?
belonging to Bretonia. And as we move up towards the hill, we can see their catapults.
There's
their,
Fela
Hey,
Fay.
hey, hey,
their
hey, stop! I want.
some halberdiers, and yeah, that's basically.
It's a beautiful environment as well.
Yeah, it's looking really good. And the music you can kind of hear kicking in as well. Really nice ambient music. So they're already kind of on the move, very quickly pushing up towards me. Now, I'm not actually in range of their artillery, so their artillery is going to have to come down off the hill, which is something that if you deploy at the front of that deployment across this little river here, you're going to be dealing with their artillery right from the onset. So I found a great strategy is just to kind of hang back and wait to deal with their cavalry and then to play aggressive. Although if you play aggressive in the
show off the
beginning,
men-at-arms, you
their
piece
cavalry
of
tends
shit.
to back off and join up with their
I'm
main
looking
army,
forward
which
to
I
that.
don't want to happen. So we're just getting ready here for the first kind of volleys, the archer volleys, as the cavalry kind of comes into my line of sight.
I will
You can
pause
turn
it.
off the arrow trails as well.
As soon as
but
he
it's
gets
useful
close
for
enough,
us
I
to be
will
able to
pause
see
this
where
video
the
and look at him.
arrows are coming from.
Yeah, especially in a video when people just want to
Oh,
have a
look,
quick look
those
at
look
what's
like
going
Knights
on.
of the Realm.
The arrow trails definitely help. So I've just activated the Spirit Leech spell. It lasts about 15 seconds, and it's a direct damage spell. So it just basically directly affects their health, lowering the health of every unit or every entity in that unit. It's not a very expensive spell. The Winds of Magic barely got touched at all, and it was just a little test spell. I wanted to test the water a little bit as the unit approached my front
Well, they're
lines,
flanking
give it a
ya.
bit of damage, and it seemed to work. They backed off after their initial charge.
So magic is quite tricky to use, and it's not overpowered in the sense that it's going to wipe out a whole unit. Each spell is specifically tailored to have
Curse
a
of the
function.
bad moon
So you need
would
to
argue
really
with you.
carefully read what the effects of the spell are before using, otherwise it could damage you in some very interesting ways.
Yeah, you can see later on, actually, we'll show you some miscasts and things like that, but even the most powerful spell doesn't wipe out the unit. So a lot of people are kind of worried on social media and things like that magic, how's it going to work, and is it going to be too powerful? It's definitely a case-by-case scenario. It's also a little bit of luck involved, whether it actually does exactly what you planned on it doing or not.
Yeah, random
by
movement
design.
is in some of the spells, vortex spells, for example.
And you also
so
have the miscast chance, even on ones that don't move, so
Exactly.
it can always go wrong. So you'll notice a lot of cavalry is actually managing to get around behind me here and start flanking.
You're not
and I had a
paying.
little bit
I
of a problem here.
understand.
My
He has to
Goblin Wolf
talk and
Rider
explain.
archers, which
so-
are kind of archer cavalry, missile cavalry, are getting chased down by this Bretonnian cavalry unit, and they obviously can't deal with them in melee.
Yeoman.
So I got Azhag to call another spell, the Fate of Buna, which is a much stronger, similar to the one I cast before, but it's much stronger. And it means that when I attack this cavalry unit now, they're going to be much weaker. Their health is dropping rapidly. And
Are
they're
there
starting
no
to break
Knights
and
of the
rout
Realm,
now, even
just
though I have two
yeomen?
units that shouldn't normally win in that engagement.
wanna
So
get
it's
a
all
closer
about
look
getting
at
the right
the Bretonnians.
engagements and really casting off spells and holding onto your Winds of Magic until you feel like it's right, the right time to use it.
Army.
So their main army is starting to push down the hill now as well, as they're slowly trying to get into my range.
you're maintaining a good
artillery.
line.
Yeah, so that's kind of in part due to guard mode as well, because they're not just chasing whoever they're fighting, they're holding the line, and that gives you a huge morale buff as well. Holding the line is really important.
Azhag's just hanging back on the wyvern.
Yeah, that's exactly the way I use him. Really, it's just support, because he has so much magical spells. You just leave him in the center and to go wherever he can to help. And being on a flying unit, he's extremely mobile. He can literally just fly over the battle and
but
go where he needs
he's
to.
an orc.
which-
Get him
which
in
I'll show an
there.
example of later. So this unit as well, this is another example of using magic again. I use the aspect of the Dread Knight to buff the morale of this unit. It's starting to rout and break, but once I bring it kind of behind the lines and buff its leadership, it comes back and it gets into my control
and
again.
stronger.
It's taking a lot of damage though, but we can definitely use it later on in some aspects.
Those
Aspects.
fucking cavalry
See what
just
I did
keep
there?
coming in,
That's
charging,
right.
pulling back,
Nice.
charging.
So yeah, we're kind of just
Annoying.
dealing with the remnants of these cavalry skirmishes, I guess. And we seem to have one on the right side. You'll notice some of my units are chasing because I haven't put them onto guard mode. Sometimes it's good to do that because they will need to chase down routing units to make sure they don't reform and come back. And here we can see the catapults are now in range and they're starting to fire.
I think those
Quite
are
a lot. I think
trebuchets.
there's almost more than 12 units of or individual catapults firing on me here, so it's quite a lot to deal with.
Could see the Bretonnian general there, Anno Michaud.
You
Back
can
in the
see him?
distance.
Where?
Yeah, he's just chilling next to the artillery. He kind of stays back with his.
Oh, do we
the main
finally
army
have...
a little bit? Same with Fail of Fail.
One thing I did like about Rome 2 was that when you select the unit, you could grab them and drag them and they move in formation. I liked that. I thought that was pretty cool. I think they brought it back. I'm happy. I'd be happy if they did bring it back.
Who we'll see as well. So I decided at this point that just to push up, I was just about ready. We had just one final engagement to deal with. Thought I'd bring my orc board boys out into the hill over on the right and start really, because their cavalry is pretty much all gone now, almost. So now I have the cavalry
That's bad
advantage,
for
even though they're
Bretonnia.
quite damaged.
They need that.
I know we can really
Was
start
that only
putting the hurt
yeoman
on.
cavalry they had?
The music as well.
Where the fuck are the Knights of the Realm?
Epic. It was all kicking off right at the right time.
Oh,
And yeah.
that said, this is a early battle. Like he said that this is a pretty early on in Azhag's in the game, so I guess Knights of the Realm would actually be overkill.
Decided that my wyvern was going to go towards the enemy artillery, because he can just fly over the battlefield. And we're going to show you a really cool spell here. Doesn't always go in your favor, but this
Oh, it's my favourite.
the Purple Sun of Zerus.
That's right. It's a vortex spell. Again, this can have magical movement, so you've got to be really careful where you place it, and certainly not anywhere near your own units.
Look at that.
Watch it.
So basically I did this a few times, and it kind of doubled back on my own guy and didn't really go quite as well, so there's a bit of a random chance that it's going to work. And it worked beautifully there, and I landed my general down on their artillery just to
I
keep
want
them
to see
busy.
the men at arms.
Legendary Lord and Warhammer Darren.
Legendary Lord.
That's right.
I'm still, an old school Total War player.
Do they have their giant shields?
Good job I'm here then.
They need
Yeah,
the
exactly.
giant shields.
So here we have Fail of Faith. She's moving up into the battle and about to
Damsel.
cast Wind Blast,
And she's using Law of Heavens.
Damn it.
but it's
Ooh,
a
miscast.
miscast. You want to talk about miscast?
Sure, I do. Miscast doesn't necessarily work the way that it does in tabletop. It can damage your caster, but ultimately the spell will automatically always go off. So depending on how low or high their health is, they can die, but generally speaking, you should be fine to keep casting.
Right, so
Aw.
I'm starting to try to envelop the units here.
Oh,
They've
they're
actually
pushing
broken a lot
straight
of my guys in
through.
the center.
They broke
The
your
artillery
line.
has done a lot of damage.
the
to
reserves
units
in there.
that are otherwise in place, and those cavalry charges as well. It all adds up. So I brought some of my kind of heavier infantry into the fight to help out, but I've also called Azhag back and activated the Fate of Buna again, just to
I don't see any giant shields. Oh, I'm.
lower the damage of this unit and hopefully get some kills in there as well. But at this point, yeah, it's starting to turn in my favor. I've got some units actually not doing anything. I'm not microing very well. But I'm just trying to kill the remaining forces and trying to kill Fae of Fae as well. And like I said, this cavalry that I managed to recall earlier, even though there's only like 20
they
dudes
flew!
in the unit, they've managed
Did
to
you
get
see
some
that?
successful charges off onto artillery and just keep them busy and keep them locked down from firing on me. They seem to be kind of trying to run away up the hill as well.
Seems like it's pretty much a case of just chewing through the remaining units. You've done quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, so Fae has actually tried to do another wind blast here, if you'll notice, and they just kind of caught the end of my unit there. Did a little bit of damage, and most of them were able to get up and remain unharmed. So you can see they're always looking for their prime opportunity to use their magic as
Shit!
well. And then we're just
Pause!
chasing
Pause.
down the Romanian Bretonians.
Oh my god. Let's scroll that back a bit. Okay.
So you can
I
see they're
want to
always
get a
looking
good
for
look
their
at
prime
them. Can I clean this up a bit? 480? What the fuck? Give me 180 or 180. 1080. Okay, let it buffer. Cause I want to get a good look at these guys. I love the men at arms. Okay. They don't have their shields. That really upsets me. Because I love the giant shields. That's what makes them cool. I mean, yeah, alright.
Their magic as well.
Guys, I'll put it back down to 480. I just wanted to get a good look at them. Now I'm sad. I am legit sad.
And then we're just chasing down the Romanian Bretonians. That's basically it.
Look at those
Quite
black
a successful
orcs.
battle, if I do say
are
so
those black
myself.
orcs
How
or big
successful
ones?
was it?
Quite successful.
I don't
Was
know.
it heroic?
I might even say it was heroic victory.
Oh!
So there we
Need some
go.
proof.
We've got the victory. And then we just have a little look at the battlefield. You can keep chasing down units if you want, and then you just hit end battle, and there we go. Boom, heroic victory.
Congratulations, Darren.
Easy. So we're playing on hard, by the way, as well, in case people are wondering the difficulty. It can get much harder, and it can get much easier, depending on your playstyle.
Well, thanks very much for showing us that battle, Darren, and join us.
I think he's playing on easy because there were no Knights of the Realm, and we know from the Thundering Falls game that the units composition changes based on difficulty. Oh well, fuck it. They don't have their shields. I mean, they're pretty cool. They got the Volgs and the Hellbirds, but they need the shields. Damn it. There's probably going to be a modder for that. Anyways, I liked it. I did. I wish we could see some Knights of the Realm, but we did see Yeoman Cavalry, so... Oh, no Grail Knights? Damn it. Oh well. Maybe next time. Oh, the Vampire Count's on the 15th. Remember that. Vampire Count's 15th. Oh, I'm excited. I love all the factions in Warhammer. I love Bretonnia. I love the Orcs. I love the Vampire Counts. I love the Tomb Kings. I love Chaos. Oh. Well, I'm excited for the Vampire Counts. Hope you join me on the 15th for that.